And then this flows into another key piece of the call center performance management, is where you try to assess your agents, how they're doing based off of call statistics, such as how long were they actually on the phone on average with per call, how many calls did they actually take, how productive were they throughout the day or through an hour. And what this does is provide some idea of some performance metrics of how your workforce is doing. And this oftentimes ties directly into profitability too, with the more efficient, the faster you turn over calls, the average length of calls. If they're shorter, the idea is that your agents, your workforce must be getting better at maybe handling those types of calls. However, a hole in there is that you can have just agents just hang up on people, and all of a sudden their average length of call gets really, really short. So I mean, it's not a perfect solution of itself, and that leads into why you may want to record some of those calls, so you can actually listen to them and find out, oh, they've just been hanging up on the phone. This is more and more needed actually in the private sector for compliances. Credit card companies often, and also insurance companies, may require a recording of conversations that occurred. And these products actually are a great way to transfer risk, needing to have 100% of the calls recorded for compliance reasons. And then finally, with this, you get the quality management piece of it, where you actually listen to those calls and actually see, how did they do with it. And quality management in itself is kind of interesting because it's very subjective already. You have evaluators evaluating an agent to see how well they actually performed on a call. Did they answer the question very effectively? And what a lot of this technology does today is allows multiple evaluators to listen to the same call, and then based off of how, if their evaluations are very close to each other, the call is then considered calibrated and actually can be used to assess the performance. But if there's a wide range of different scores on it, you can set it so it doesn't actually affect the agent's performance or the agent's quality statistics. So we have all these different pieces here. Now just a real brief look at the market for call centers. It's over 50,000 call centers in just the United States alone, almost 3 million customer service representatives. A lot of the technologies companies are somewhat mature. I mean, they're not necessarily startups, but they've been around for over 10 years. A lot of the big technology companies that provide workforce management or call recording or quality. And there's been incremental improvements with these technologies over time. Algorithms for making schedules has gotten quicker. More performance metrics have been uncovered with performance management. Call recording, you'll be able to listen to the call through some web interface instead of some software that you install. So there's been some incremental improvements. But what I've seen though in the past few years is we have all these individual technologies, and this company right here, Witness Systems, began acquiring different companies and actually pulling all these different technologies together and actually having them complement each other. This is creating some positive feedback loops into the different types of technology that they use. I mean, based off of your quality and performance, maybe we can give you preferred schedules with our workforce management software. We can begin incentivizing our workforce better by looking at all the different pieces surrounding them together. So Witness Systems led the way with this change in 2005 with their product, and then my case company actually raced to meet them then actually the year after. And how they did it, and this goes back to the premise of this whole thing, is that they made this technology acceleration, this really push for innovation through very strategic acquisitions that they made. They grabbed and bought companies that had specific call center function, feature functionality that they needed. Witness Systems, its strength was in performance management. However, it was a bit lacking in call recording and the quality management piece of it, and also workforce management. And they made strategic acquisitions here to actually get the needed technologies, and then actually right after they finished with workforce management, purchasing this in 2004, next year they actually had a product that they could sell. So my case company, Nice Systems, they were lacking in several different pieces, and they purchased these companies and actually came up with a viable product that a year after. So to wrap this all together, I think what we're seeing here through the acquisitions that were made really ties into the paper we read on Kathy Schlemsky, where they talked about actually antitrust, among other things. It's also about mergers and acquisitions and how we should look at those, also seeing companies acquiring into certain types of know-how and actually able to push innovation forward even faster than they could if they were all separate. Some of the other, actually one company, Aspect Software, actually tried to do this on their own. They actually built the entire workforce optimization suite on their own, and they're actually still in the development processes of it. They actually had an initial release of the product in 2007, but they're 1 and 2 years back from their competitors. So, and lastly, is this actually destroying the incumbent products in the past? Well, the jury's still out on that. There's still definitely niche markets for just a call center that maybe just needs workforce management. Maybe we don't have that many agents. We don't need to have some type of solution to automate some of that. So they're still existing. And also a piece to look for in the future, which would be interesting to see, is this type of are there a lot of instances where there's been strategic acquisitions made that have culminated together to actually drive a certain type of product forward that facilitates a certain type of process and organizations forward. And with that, any questions?